Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is for you if you are looking at ways to build your credit score, especially if you're a UK resident. In this video, Funfere and myself will be talking about the various ways which you can use to build your credit score quickly if you're a UK resident. So I welcome Funfere. Thank you for joining me in this video.
Thanks, Wally. Glad to be on your channel today.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Funfere. So how long have you been in the UK?
So it'll be a year plus.
Oh, nice. You have
this
more
month.
experience. I mean,
Yes,
that's
yes,
more reason you should be talking about this
yes.
with
So
me.
I've been through the ups and the downs of trying to build credit.
Nice. Okay, so I know the first question that will come to your mind is, what is the benefit of building my credit score? I mean, that is what most people want to ask.
Yeah.
What is the benefit to me? Why should I build my credit score, right? But before I get to that, please, as you're watching this video, it's going to be very informative, I promise you. Please subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel by clicking on that bell, on that button, right? Then click on the bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos, right? So, you can't live in the UK without building a credit score. You can't live in the UK without credit. You can't live in the UK without loans, right? It's not like developing nations or underdeveloped nations where you can easily just buy everything, right? One off. Yeah. So don't say, God forbid, I can't take credit. I don't know. I don't like loans, right? But that's something you can't do without, right? Especially when you live in the UK. A higher credit score actually means you're credible, right? Institutions can give you loans easily. Let's talk about the benefits of improving your credit score. So the first one, from Fred, do you want to take the first one?
Yeah. So it's important to note that credit is a positive thing, and um, having good credit does three things. It gives you a better chance of getting a credit card. It gives you good mortgage rates, and then it gives you easier loan approvals.
Yeah. So also another benefit of having a good credit score is that you have lower interest rates, right? And high credit limits. Those are some of the benefits of having a good credit score. Okay, so now that we've talked about the benefits of having a good credit score, let's delve straight into how you can build your credit score. So let's start.
So I think the easiest way to start to build credit is to open a bank account. It's important to note that the best kind of bank account to open is not the mobile only bank accounts like Monzo and
Yeah, all these
Revolut.
digital
Yeah,
banks,
so
right?
don't open digital banks. I mean, I'm not saying don't open them, but you need to have a standard bank account like NatWest, Barclays,
HSBC,
HSBC,
Barclays.
yes,
So
and the
maybe
rest.
those Monzo and the right likes
Yes.
are just maybe just for you to start off. Maybe
Yes, when
once
you
you start.
first get into the
Yeah,
UK, yes,
yeah.
you can use those to get an account very quickly. So to open a bank account in UK, you need proof of address. So an address that shows you pay bills from that address. That's typically what is asked for. And when you have this bank account, what you want to be showing is that income comes in and comes out. You want to also use this bank accounts to show that you are at the address that you say you are, because that is how people can trust you to say, this is where we can track this person
This
to.
person lives here. Okay, yeah. That's point one. Then the second point is
So the second point is you need to be able to open what's called a lockbox. So lockbox helps you to save money and also build your credit simultaneously. So it takes money from your bank account weekly, monthly. You can set it how you want, but it returns that money back to you. So what it's doing essentially, lockbox works as like a reverse loan app where they are looking like they are taking money from you to make a payment for something, but then they are holding on to it and giving it back to you at a later time. So what that does is that it shows that you paid off something and the company was able to take that money from you without any issues.
Okay. Do they return the money with interest?
So yes, they return the money with a little bit of interest depending on how long you keep that money with them. Yes.
Okay, so I mean, I'm trying to equate this to what is typically done in Nigeria. Is that not similar to what's it called? That's something I used to do back in Nigeria, mutual funds.
Yes.
I don't know, but I don't know.
Similar to mutual funds, but this is for building a good credit score, and it builds your credit score rather quickly too. With opening a lockbox, there's really no prerequisites. So it's very quick, unlike
How
getting
do
a
you
credit
start?
card.
Is it like a
So you go on
website?
the website
Mhm.
lockbox.com,
Okay.
you sign up, you put in your details,
Okay. The
and
details are on the screen. Lockbox.com, right?
and then from there you just set up the amount you want taking every month, every week, and then the process is just automated for say a year or 6 months.
Oh, okay, nice. So let's move to the third one. What's the
So the
third one?
third and easiest one that I found was getting a credit card from Argos.
Okay.
So Argos, for those who don't know, everybody should know, is I call it a multi-brand electronics store where you can buy just about anything. So they offer you a credit card with a very low limit, and by limit I mean the amount you can spend on this is not a lot. So what I do with this Argos card is I buy my groceries with it. So you buy very small things, nothing too expensive, and at the end of the month
Mhm.
you pay that back. So this helps you to build trust before you go on to getting a credit card from the big
The real
boys.
credit card itself.
Yes.
Oh, okay, nice. Okay, yeah. So thanks for that. So moving on to the next point.
So there are other ways also you can build credits that don't necessarily tie into um, spending money or taking out a loan. And one of them is applying for a provisional driver's license.
Okay.
It's a very straightforward process. All you need to do is go on the gov.uk website and start the process. They send you application in the mail once they have a proof of address.
Okay.
Again, everything really ties back
To your
to
proof
proof
of
of
address,
address.
because they
Yes.
really want to know if you're legal. I mean,
Yes.
where you're
Where you
staying
are. Yes.
and where you can be tracked.
And you want to make sure that your name is on bills. Very important. And obviously, you have the necessary paperwork to say you are legally residing in the UK. So one interesting fact about applying for a provisional driver's license is you have to put your BRP in the letter and send it
To them.
to the government. Yes.
So sorry, without taking driving test.
So without the driving test is online, but they send you your provisional license first.
Oh,
So
okay.
provisional is like a learner's permit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Okay,
when you get
without
to provisional, you do the test online, then you do a physical one, and then they give you
the driver's
the
license
driver's
itself.
license itself.
Okay, but
Yes.
for this case, I mean, for this instance, the provisional driver's license will
Yes.
suffice.
Will suffice. Yes, and it helps you build your credit. So
Okay.
provisional license is another just a form of ID that shows you are here legally. And with credits and with any loans, they just want to make sure you are domiciled here and you have no.
They have every documentation just to track you, just in
Yes,
case you.
exactly.
That's nice. Okay, let's move to the next one, which is number 5.
So this is one of my easiest tricks for building rapport with increasing your credits, and it is putting recurring payments on one account on one card.
Okay.
So when I say recurring payments, I'm talking about your Netflix subscriptions. I'm talking about any web subscriptions you have, move everything.
Phone
Yes,
bills,
phone bills. So anything that
utility bills too.
yes, utility, anything that needs to come in as direct debit every month, put it all in one place. So typically, if you open your app, your banking app, you would even see a section that says recurring payments. So what that's showing again is you can pay off things on time. Um, a very sort of um, serious warning I would like to give is don't let payments get declined. Anytime payments get declined, your credit score goes down a couple points.
So you should make sure at every point in time that they're going to take payment from your card.
Yes, there should be enough
card.
money in there. And most times these apps already tell you the payment is coming up in 10
They'll
days.
tell you the day.
Yes,
So
like
that
you don't have enough
you
money.
can fund it
So
before
you
then.
want to make sure
Most of those
you
are
fund you want to make sure you fund it before then, because once the payment is declined, that's bad for your credit. It goes down a couple points.
Oh, I see.
And losing points is very easy, but getting them back is very hard.
Okay, so let's move to the next one, which is let me take this. Try as much as possible, right, to not pay it for things one off. So take for instance, if you're buying say a new phone, maybe your iPhone 13, or you're buying a new TV that's worth about 1,000 or 1,500 pounds, even if you have the money, don't pay for it at once. Take it on a contract like a 12 months or 24 months contract. Let them be taking that money from your account bit by bit, so that I mean that also builds your credit score, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move to the seventh point. You want to take that?
Yes. So point number 7, which is again another very neat hack, is if you can, on I would say a monthly basis, move large sums of money through your bank accounts. Now, there's 2 reasons for this. It doesn't necessarily have to be your money. It can be friends, it can be family, it can be some of your savings. But I would say a safe amount is like 1,000 plus pounds.
Okay.
Now, for 2 reasons. One is the first time you move a large sum into your bank account, the bank usually probe you to know who you are. Show us where you get this money from. How do you make this money? Right? When you do that and you prove that, that's good for your credit, because what it does essentially is like it puts you down on file as someone that has a verifiable source of income,
Yeah.
right? Another thing it does on your bank statements at the end of the year, at the end of the month, it shows, volume moved in and out of your accounts. Yeah. So this is just a neat trick, because when you want to apply for these big credit cards, they want to see how much moved in and out of your accounts, because you submit your statements for applications of credit cards from the big boys, Capital One, American Express. So if they see that, in a month, X amounts moved in and out, then they're like, okay, this person is in a financial position to handle a credit limit of 5,000, 6,000, and so on.
That's nice. Okay, so the next one is which is quite critical, is register to vote, right? According to experience, by registering to vote, you get 50 points instantly by registering to vote, just by registering to vote, right? This is putting your name on the electoral register, right? And one thing again, like Funfere said, is that is tied to your place of residence. Because they want to see a proof that this person is staying here legally. He has a proof of address and he's registered to, because for you to be able
To vote,
to vote,
yeah,
right?
it has to be
You need to have a permanent address, and I'm
yes.
here as a permanent resident of the UK. And even if you are living in a shared apartment, right, you are still eligible to register to vote. So that is a very crucial point we need to also note. Okay, so let's move to the next point. You want to take that?
Yes. So it's very key that, while you are trying to build your credit, you register on credit rating agencies. What that does is you are showing that you're looking up your credit score. And even just by looking up your credit score, that is a positive thing for building your credit. So you have websites like Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, where you can easily track your credit score. And it's always just good to know, are you going up, or you are going down, or you're still in the same position?
Yeah.
Yes, you want to know, if you need to do more, or if you need to correct things.
Okay, nice. So then another one is the 10th point is register on sites like Credit Ladder, because these guys report your bills payment, house rent payments basically, to the credit rating agencies like Equifax and TransUnion, right? So I mean they are able to track that this person is paying the house rent payment on time, and that's also builds your credit score. So for that, just go to Credit Ladder. Okay, so let's move to the next point. Let's talk about credit cards.
Yeah. So now this is the main, you know, credit building facility.
Yeah.
So I would say once you've gone through all the points we previously mentioned for about 3 to 6 months, you're feeling comfortable, you go in for your credit card application. Now, it's a bit funny if you get denied, your credit score reduces.
That's why I think it's important to check if you're eligible before
Yes, before actually applying. Yes, so some websites, in fact, all of them, all credit card companies will give you an eligibility test, right? So, for example, I applied for my credit card after a year. I've been here now a year and 3 months. I applied after a year. I made sure to wait the full year. Some people wait 6 months. So the famous ones, Capital One, Amex, even standard banks, HSBC and the rest have credit
I
cards.
think there's one feature on Capital One that I think quickcheck.capitalone.co.uk also. If I hope I'm right, I'll check it out and put on the screen where you are, where they just ask some basic questions
Questions,
about you,
yes.
about where you've lived, and then determine if you're eligible or not.
Yes. One of those questions is, have you lived at this residence for more than 6 months or
Yeah,
something like that?
yeah.
Like they put a number of days, and once you put less than those days, they tell you, you're not eligible. So, like he said, very quick questions. So once you apply for your credit card, right, when you get it in the mail, you're approved. There's going to be a credit limit on your card. Now it's important. To listen to what you need to do once you have your credit card. I think the reason a lot of people fear credit cards is, you get this number on the card, like £3,000, and then you just start going a bit
Start
wild.
using it.
Yeah, and then you get into credit card debt, which is what nobody wants to be in.
Yeah.
Now, this is where credit utilization comes into play. And this is essentially a percentage of your credit limits that you should spend to stay safe. Not only is it sensible, to not enter debt, it also shows the lenders and credit card companies that you are not wild. So what we mean by this is, say your credit limit is £3,000. You want to not spend 50% of it, which is 1.5.
1.5, yeah.
Yeah, you want to spend, my rule of thumb is 10%, but at the maximum 30%
Some
of
will
it.
say 30, yeah.
Yes.
30%.
So if your credit limit is, 3,000 pounds, you want to spend $300 between,
£300.
sorry, £300 between
£300.
when you get the card and when you have to pay off the next bill. So once you know what your billing cycle is, try not to go above 10 to 30% of your credit limit within that billing cycle. And you want to be buying things like, your groceries
Grocery
again,
shopping,
and then
yeah.
put your utility bill on direct debit, especially if you know what your utilities typically come to every month. And credit card companies check this for two reasons. One, like I said, to make sure that they want to make sure that you are not wild, you're trustworthy, and two, they increase your credit limits too. When they see that you're paying your bills off, you're staying in a certain threshold, and this is good for your mortgage in the long run, because a mortgage is essentially a very, very big loan that's paid over time,
Yeah.
and is only given to you at good rates when they see that you've shown track record with good credit.
Yes, sir. Thank you for that, Funfere. So let's go to the next point, which is number 12. Don't miss a payment. Ensure that when your payments, your credit card payments, your utilities, your loans are due, try to pay on time, because these companies want to see that you are responsible, right? They want to see that this is not someone that will run away with our money, basically, right? So don't miss a payment. And then I think number 13 is avoid moving house a lot. Uh, in as much as this is not avoidable, right? There are several circumstances that would warrant you moving to new places. But as much as you can, try to stay in. That's why some landlords will tell you the minimum I can give you this house
Yes,
is 6
it's
months.
6
Some will
months
even tell you 1
exactly.
year.
1
If
year,
you know
yeah.
that you're not staying here for 1 year, I'm not giving it out to you. And then again, it's not just for them, it also works for you, right? They want, because if you're moving houses, some of these credit rating agencies will now then start thinking, this one cannot afford to pay bills, house rent. That's why he's moving
It's always
houses.
moving.
Maybe
Yes.
he's moving to cheap houses. Let's reduce his point. And according to experience, I think if you don't pay, I'm going back to the previous point. If you don't pay your bills on time, or if you miss payments, you miss about 130 points.
And even with moving houses a lot,
Yeah,
it also reduces your credit
credit
score.
score. Yeah,
Yes.
so just try as much as possible to avoid moving houses. Okay, I think we've mentioned a lot, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about like 13 now or so,
Yes.
right? Please, if you're watching this video, please don't just watch us. Don't just learn, right? Please subscribe to this channel. Click on that subscription icon, and also please click on that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos to this channel, right? So let's move on to the next point.
So I think point 14 is something that I stumbled on by accident, but it's very, very key. Now, when you open these digital banks as your first bank, I always advise people, don't open all of them. If you're going to open, I advise you open one or two. Now, here's why. You want to use one account to do everything before you apply for a credit card. The reason I say this is all your finances tally up over 6 months.
Yeah.
And if you're spreading them across three different bank accounts, what you're doing is you're sharing all your evidences across different places. You want to put everything in one place. Charge everything to your one Monzo, your one Revolut, or your one Starling, for example.
Okay.
15, which we touched on briefly, is do not just jump straight into checking your eligibility or applying for a credit card when you think you're ready. It's important to do soft searches to check your eligibility. When you're applying for a credit card, most lenders offer this service. So it's good to check for those lenders that offer those services because it doesn't, affect your credit score if they tell you are not ready yet. It's better than getting an outright
if you
rejection.
apply directly and then they say you're not eligible, then
that affects your credit score, exactly.
Let's take on the next point.
Yes. So this is also very key. Avoid multiple applications. What I mean by this is avoid being turned down by multiple people because it shows that you're a financial liability. So if you get turned down, for example,
for credit card,
for a credit card, yes, what I'd advise is you wait 3 months, you try again with the same company. Most times they will tell you what you need to do to meet their requirements. You can call in and talk to customer service and they will tell you. So go back to that same company. Wait 3 to 6 months. And even that alone boosts your credit score by 50 points, about 30 to 50 points, just even waiting and not going somewhere else to try again. And typically, after 12 months, your rejection for a credit card no longer exists on your records anymore.
Okay, so let's take point 17, which is Lisa. Right, so try as much as possible as soon as you can to open Lisa. Lisa is a lifetime individual savings account, which can be opened by anybody we are between the age bracket 18 to 39. Unfortunately, we are over 39. It doesn't work for you. It don't work for you again. So it's a scheme, right, where you get to save, I think, £4,000 within a tax year, right? And the government then gives you 25% of that, which is about this 1,000. So you save 4,000, the government gives you 1,000. That's 5,000. So you have £5,000 in a year, and this can be used towards your first monthly, the first time you're buying a house, right, or towards retirement. So this also helps, right? It helps to build your credit score. So first month, second month, third month of your UK stay, try to do that also. It adds to your credit score. Yeah. Then another thing to note is it doesn't have to be £4,000. You don't have to save up to £4,000, right? Any just start as low as £1, right? If you save, take for instance, if it's £400 you're able to save in that tax year, the government will give you 1% of that, which is
25% of that.
25%, I mean, right? 25%, right? Of that £4,000. It's not even just about what the government is giving you; it's helping you to build your credit score, right? And we have Lisa agencies like Money Box, BI Money, Edrich London, Nutmeg, and all of that. I'll put their names on this screen, so you can just Google them up and read more about them. Okay, so let's move on to the last point. Let's round up. This should be point 18 or so,
Yes,
if I'm not
point 18.
mistaken, right? So you want to take that?
Yes. So last but not least, check for errors. You want to make sure that your name is spelled correctly, your flat address is correct, your zip code is correct, and if you see any mistakes, you call it out and correct it because, for example, if a letter is sent to the wrong place and that's the reason you didn't see a bill, that affects your credit score. And you having to go change addresses also affects your credit score because it might look like you're trying to do something dubious by being hard to find, and all these details in terms of your address, your name, your zip code. It's important to always make sure that when you get credit card or a bank card, you scrutinize them and you make sure that all these details are correct. And in the likelihood that something goes wrong, and for example, maybe you fell ill or you were in an accident, and maybe that's the reason you couldn't pay a bill. Bring these details forward, and some companies are kind enough to put that into account to make sure that your credit score doesn't go down by too much.
And in some cases, right, where your name is being misspelled, right? Take for instance, Adewale. Someone now spelled that as Adewale, E instead of A. That could entirely mean that is a record for someone else. So instead of
Yes,
them recording that credit score
for
for
you,
Adewale,
yeah,
they're recording it
giving it
for
to someone
someone else. So
else.
that is why it's important to call out any mistake on your name, on your address, or your bank details or whatever. So your credit score is not being recorded for someone else, right? I think we've covered enough on this episode, right? From my own experience and from Ferre's experience of our stay in the UK so far. This is what we can deduce or what we've deduced as what would help you in building your credit score, right? If you're watching this and you have other suggestions that you think anyone watching this video can benefit from, please type them in the comment section below, right? Let's everybody learn from you, right? So thank you so far. Thank you guys for sticking with us. Thank you for Ferrer. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much for
having me.
coming. I really enjoyed this conversation. I learned some other new ways of building my credit score myself, right? And I'm sure you guys have enjoyed the conversation too so far. Please, lastly, subscribe to this channel, please, right? And share this video with people in your network that you think will benefit from this conversation, right? And so I see you in the next video. Thanks.